好，欢迎来到洛城话题，我是 Jennifer。本期节目呢，我们讲一个大家比较关心的问题，就是美国的孩子申请大学的问题。那现在呢，已经有很多的学生呢，陆续的收到了一些大学的录取通知书，叫 Early Decision。那现在我们介绍一位 Mark 同学，他呢收到了美国三军军校的录取通知书，也收到了斯坦福大学的录取通知书。现在我们邀请 Mark跟大家分享一下他的高中4年的生活经历，他是如何学习和准备高考以及准备申请军校的。首先祝贺你啊！我听你父亲说你收到了海陆空三军的大学录取的信哈。你先给大家做一个自我介绍吧，就是讲讲你的名字和你现在的申请大学的情况。
大家好，我名字是田鹏翔，我被海陆都录取了，然后我也被
你可以说英文，就是海军、空军和陆军是吗？
对是，
哦。
这个Stanford 也被录取了。
哦，哇哦，Congratulations，恭喜
啊
恭喜！那你怎么是想到要申请这军校呢？
我觉得我就想怎么说，defend America。对不起，我的
啊
中文不怎么
啊，
好。
你从
我就
什么时候开始决定你要上军校的？是从高中1年级吗？还是更早的时候
高中1年级就知道的，我就想去这些学校。
？OK，你是怎么准备的呢？你 how do you prepare for that？你有
好里
参加 ROTC 吗？还是怎么样？
我不是我就自己练习，每天起来早上6点7点就自己练习，仰卧起坐跑步俯卧撑自己做。
那需要达到一个 standard 才能申请这个学校，是不是？
当然需要这个东西叫做 CFA，这 Cadet Fitness Exam，所以你需要做像你需要做个 specific amount of 像仰卧起坐 push up 像这样。
那其他的东西呢，还需要你做什么？比如学习成绩好，当然学习要好，还有什么？就是要有一些 social work 吗？还是要怎么样？
然后 social work，你也需要一点儿，你需要他们说他们想这些学校他们都需要看见一个 leader，对不对？所以
嗯
leader 就是像 club leader 还是像这 extracurricular leader，你需要 be 一个 leader in 你的 community。对不起，
嗯，
说英文和中文，我的中文不好。
可以，可以，可以。那你这个 leader 就是你是哪一方面的 leader 呢？你觉得？
我 leader 就是我在我学校里面，我 lead 一个 school club 叫 Maker Club，所以我们做像engineering 做3D打印做3D modeling 都是像这样。
哦，是 science 的一些东
对
西是吧？
science 对是。
哦，OK，
然后这些这个 military academy 想看看你也是个 smart person basically，他们
yeah, of
给
course，嗯。
他们 looking for a STEM oriented people。
我知道申请军校还是很难的，你当时有没有信心呢？还是说你已经预知到这么好的结果吗？因为3个学校都录取你，
我没想到这回全部3个都录取，对不对？但是
嗯，
我 Navy Academy 或者 West Point 这 Military Academy 我都觉得我可以进去。我去了他们的 Summer Program，他们有个叫 Summer Leaders Experience，and 另外一个叫个 Summer Seminar，对不对？如果你进去这 program，你进去这 Navy 还是 West Point 的都很高的这 chances。
但是进这个 program 也需要考试吗？还是说可以申请自由申请，
自由申请就可以。
都会被 admit 吗？
不是，你需要他们是 look at 你的 ACT 和 SAT score，and 也会看见你的这个学分。
你现在有决定要去哪个学校吗？
我还不知道，全部都是特别好的这 choices，只
嗯
有前面3个这 military academy 也有 Stanford，所以我现在还在想怎么选。
嗯，那你的专业就 Stanford，你申请的是什么专业啊？
我选你申请 Stanford 不需要选一个 major。
哦，没有选 major。
没有选，所以我现在想坐这飞机还是像这样，但是我还没选。
好，所以现在这都是 early decision 是吧？现在都是，
全部都是 early decision，想问
就是说你必须得选嘛，你现在定不了，你什么时候能决定你去哪个学校
我5月份就会知道。
啊？那
五月份
你在等什么呢？就是你是会选军校还是选普通的学校？这个定了没有？
这个也还没定，刚才拿到前面一些这些这些空军和海军的这个录取，所以我还在想选哪一个。但是我觉得 两个都是特别好的 choices，所以我还在想给。
啊，所以军校当中你比较 prefer 空军或者是海军是吗？你不考虑
对，
西点军校了就啊。
是因为我想坐飞机，basically。
就是做这个 engineer 方面的这
对，
些。
是。
你能跟大家介绍一点你的这个 experiences，就是你怎么样来manage 你在高中的这个学习，然后申请这么好的学校又被录取的呢？
哦，好，对，这个我可以说英文吗？我觉得说中文
可以呀，你可以说的
不是很。
慢一点。对，
Okay.
嗯
What helped me for college applications is finding my passion. It
嗯
might sound stereotypical, it might sound confusing, but you have to decide what you want to do. So for
嗯
me, it was engineering. I liked 3D printing. I liked 3D modeling.
嗯
So I knew in middle school that this is something I wanted to pursue over those 4 years.
嗯
So all my extracurriculars, all my extra time, all my school classes were dedicated towards engineering.
嗯
And so it's not that you have to have insane extracurriculars. It's not that you have to quote unquote cure cancer to get in. It's
嗯
that you have to find a clear passion of what you want to do. It
嗯
doesn't matter if it's music, you want to become a pianist, that's fine. It doesn't matter if you want to become a doctor. It doesn't matter if you want to become an athlete, but you have to show commitment. In those high school 4 years, those are your exploratory years, but it is in your best option to find your passion early and
嗯。
commit to that passion. And that's what helped for me. And also, when you're writing your college essays, it really helps because all those years of high school you've dedicated towards one specific passion that you're able to write clearly.
其实大体意思就是你要发现你自己有兴趣、你的激情所在的地方。另外呢，
对，
你要坚决有执行力的去做这些事情。所以你
是。
在这4年当中，你觉得更 challenge 的是，比如说是你的 physical training 呢，还是你的academic 这个 study 这个方面？
两个都特别难，但是我觉得这 physical training 一点更难。就是
嗯
每天都需要起来很早，需要每次需要告诉我自己我需要练习每一次。所以我觉得两个都很难，但是我觉得 over time you get used to it, so it doesn't become that hard. You have to start training first, and
嗯。
then it gets easier.
就是你有没有一个达到你认为你不行的时候？有没有这4年当中？
Yes, definitely. I think it's everyone who's ever had successes has always had a very, very low point.
嗯
For me, it was during actually in my sophomore year. So
啊
I was leading a club. It was not going well. As a leader, I felt I could have been doing better, but it brought along a lot of stress. And of course, that was also when classes became getting much harder as well, and I was juggling a lot of things.
嗯
And it was a very, very difficult time for me, and I felt very overwhelmed at specific times. But then it was basically trial by fire. You've pushed yourself to such a limit that afterwards, everything else just seems so much easier. Because whenever you get to a dark point, it means you reached some of your highest challenges.
嗯。
After that, the rest of the journey is much easier.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good, excellent. Do you think who give you the most help?
Honestly, I mean, the straight up answer is my parents.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
I'm wonderful to have such supportive parents, you know. They support whatever I do. So
Mm.
if I'm interested in engineering, they've funded a lot of my very expensive ventures, projects and stuff like that. But the most of all, they provided me moral support. So it doesn't matter which pathway I choose. I think it's also a lot of students are getting it the wrong way. It's not what the parents should not be forcing what you're doing. It should be
Mm.
the child choosing what they're doing. Like my engineering passion comes from my own interest, and my parents, I'm very lucky to have parents that support whatever I do.
Okay, so they're not tiger mom or tiger
Yeah,
daddy，
no,
就没有
they're not.
push 你哈。
Yeah. And
OK，
also, I want to make it clear that I don't agree with the tiger mom or tiger dad like architecture. I don't believe that leads to success. I
嗯
believe it forms kids that are way too stressed and overworked and people who aren't doing what they actually like.
I don't think that the many Asian students apply for the military school. Do you think you're very special or you?
Definitely. Especially for military academies, Asian Americans and Asians in general are a very small minority of the military academies. When I was there on campus, I saw very few Asian Americans, and I guess it did felt it. I didn't. I would say not say I faced discrimination, but I would say I felt a very bit out of place. And of course, there is the coronavirus, there is much more prejudice or much more discrimination that Asian Americans faced. But from my experience at the military academies, I did not see that. And then I believe that going in there, I hope to, especially if I do go to military academies, I want to challenge a stereotype. And then the Chinese people are very different people, and that there are people who are willing to serve America, who are willing to love America, and who are willing to defend America.
Traditionally, from the Chinese parents, from their heart, they mainly they think it's very dangerous to be, to join the military. Think your parents have this kind of worry, try to persuade you to change your mind.
But not really. And I believe that this is a very misguided view on military academies. There is I would say, in a realistic way, the military academies, if you go into the military academies and you are trained as an officer, it costs a lot of I guess we could talk from financial time, but it takes a lot of money to make an officer. If I read some online estimates, it costs around $500,000 to produce one military academy graduate, and they aren't going to send, I would say, you could say that you are a precious commodity as an officer. They aren't going to send you on the front lines. And I believe that nowadays we're at times of peace in serving in the military. I do not believe that it is dangerous, because I believe with better technology, the military is becoming more and more safer.
If there are any other students who want to apply for the military school, you have any suggestion for them to find the resource?
Sure. And my personal tips for applying to the military academy is start early with all things, especially college in general. I guess for military, it's not more about passion, but you have to realize going to the military academies is a very large physical commitment. So for me, I had to start training basically a year before I even before I went to the actual military academies for summer camps. You have to start training early. You have to start running, start doing push-ups, start doing sit-ups. Start early as much as possible. I know the physical fitness part, I was not a very strong person when I started physical training, but then over time, if you keep on training, you'll become very, very fit, and you'll meet the standards very, very well. So, for example, I trained for what is it, like 6 months intense training. I went to West Point and I managed to get the highest physical fitness test score. As long as you're dedicated to training, you can accomplish great things. And for the military academy, in your junior year, you should start looking at the application process. The military academy window opens up earlier. And also there's something called a congressional nomination, which you have to get, and you should also start early to get one of those.
So do you have a coach for the training, or you just do it by yourself?
No, I am all completely self-trained. So for all my physical fitness, you do not, I would say you really don't need a fitness coach. For me, I am all self-taught. There is, I would say again, there is a fitness test you have to meet. It's called the Cadet Fitness Assessment. The scores and the guidelines you have to meet are all out there. You have to do push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, runs and stuff like that. And for me, I just kept on doing mini tests every day, and I met the requirements.
Wow, you're a strong guy, strong and
So,
smart guy. One last question is, do you think ROTC will help, or why you don't join ROTC?
for me, I joined Civil Air Patrol for a while. It's not considered a ROTC, but then ROTC definitely helps. It gives you opportunities. You can receive a nomination from ROTC as well, and it helps you determine if the military is the right pathway for you. I would recommend joining ROTC or Civil Air Patrol or something like that. And it's a really good way to explore if the military is the right pathway for you, and it will help your military academy application as well. For all the students applying for colleges, and I know it's going to be a stressful time. I've gone through those now. I realize that those are going to be very fingernail biting times, but when you do start writing your college applications, when you do start typing down your essays, I hope to leave this message is be proud of all you've accomplished. And I believe that people applying for military academies or just college in general are losing sight of the fact that if you're applying to college, you shouldn't be stressed about who you're competing against or what you're faced against, or that guy's like somehow cured cancer or something like that. Be proud of what you've done in your 4 years. And when you type those essays, you should not waste time stressing about whether your resume is good enough. You should believe that over those 4 years, you've accomplished what you've accomplished, and you should be proud of that. And with that proper mindset, you'll be able to write a really good essay that demonstrates your strengths and your accomplishments the best.
太精彩了，太精彩了！你
Thank
说
you.
的最后这一段，我都听得都非常激动，真的是，这个是非常深的一个 philosophy of life, I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
you.
The
对
high
不
school
起，
student can learn about this.
thank
Yeah,
you.
it will
对
be
不起，我不能说
easier.
在中文。
对，你说的
Yeah.
真是太好了。Make up your mind，就是你做这些事情是你自己要做的事情，不管这个结果是怎么样子的，那这个过程是非常非常值得珍惜的哈，是非常
Yep.
好。